Okay, welcome to the deep dive.
Good to be here.
So today, we're jumping into something pretty dynamic, maybe even a bit wild, the world of meme coin trading in, well, 2025.
Yeah, and specifically we're looking at these things called Telegram alpha call groups. They've really blown up.
Right, and we're basing this on a recent piece from Av AI. They're a crypto analytics platform, so they should have a good view.
Exactly. They're kind of on the inside track, so it gives us a solid perspective on how these groups actually work.
So our mission today really is to unpack what these groups are, how they tick, what gets shared, and crucially, weigh up the good and the bad for anyone thinking about getting involved.
Yeah, the potential upside versus the very real risks.
Think of it as a quick guide to this corner of the crypto world.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start right there. These Telegram alpha call groups. What are we actually talking about?
Fundamentally, they're online communities on Telegram. Sometimes they're pretty exclusive, maybe invite-only.
Or semi-public, maybe?
Or semi-public, yeah. And their whole purpose is to try and give members a trading edge, find that alpha.
So who's in them?
It's usually a mix. You get some seasoned crypto traders, people they call KOLs, key opinion leaders.
Influencers, basically?
Kinda, yeah. And just regular meme coin fans,
Yes.
all sharing stuff in real time, calls, insights, that kind of thing.
Got it. So it's more than just random chat. It's about finding an advantage. What kind of information actually gets passed around in these groups?
Well, the article points out a few key types. First off, you get early heads-ups about new token launches.
Which in meme coins, being early is huge.
It's critical. Then you might see buy or sell signals, supposedly based on wallets that have, made good trades in the past.
Following the smart money, or trying to.
Exactly. And there's also a lot of crowdsourced research, people banding together to spot potential issues, red flags with a project,
Okay.
and just general discussion, plus what they call on-chain sleuthing.
Sleuthing, I like that. So digging into the blockchain data itself.
Yeah, looking for clues, anomalies, maybe tracking developer wallets, that sort of investigative work.
Interesting. Now, you mentioned these groups aren't brand new. They've been around since, like, the early DeFi days. How have they changed?
They've definitely evolved, become more sophisticated, I'd say.
How so?
Well, back then it might have just been someone shouting, hey, look at this new coin. Now, the top groups, they often get advance notice.
Advance notice of what?
Things like when a token is about to launch or when the smart contract gets deployed, even planned marketing pushes before they go public.
Wow, okay. That's a serious head start. A first mover advantage.
Absolutely. And that's not all. There's a bigger focus now on the collective brain power.
The hive mind, as the article puts it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just one person calling the shots.
Yeah.
It's collaborative. Someone might spot something weird in the contract code. Someone else tracks the dev wallets linked to it. Another person sees a big whale buying in.
So pooling all these little bits of info together.
Right. It lets them size up a token, good or bad, much faster than one person could alone. It's like this rapid, decentralized due diligence.
Okay, that makes sense. And the article also mentioned tools, integrations with trading platforms.
Yes, that's another big step. Some of the more advanced groups are linking up directly with platforms like SuperX or Av.ai.
And what does that let them do?
Things like tracking specific crypto wallets in real time, automatically copying the trades of successful wallets.
Copy trading, right?
Yeah, and even having tools built in, like contract scanners to check for vulnerabilities, often right there inside Telegram.
Streamlining the whole process.
Exactly, making it faster, more efficient.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. Why are these groups so central to meme coin trading specifically? It's not like they're analyzing Bitcoin's fundamentals.
That's the key difference, isn't it? Meme coins play by different rules. It's so much about narrative, hype, social trends.
And timing.
Oh, absolutely timing. Traditional analysis, like chart patterns, often takes a back seat to just raw market sentiment and speed.
Right.
So in that kind of environment, having that real-time info, what's buzzing, who's buying early, what the narrative is, that becomes the critical edge.
Because things move so fast.
Insanely fast. As the article says, a coin can rocket up or totally collapse in minutes, even seconds.
Yeah.
That info edge can be the difference between huge gains and, well, getting wrecked.
Okay, yeah, I can see the appeal. Getting in early on the next big thing is tempting, but the article definitely sounds a note of caution, right? It's not all sunshine and rockets.
Not at all. Absolutely. This growth has, unfortunately attracted some bad actors.
Like what?
Well, the article specifically calls out pump and dump schemes. That's a big one.
Where they hype a coin just to sell off at the top?
Precisely. They coordinate the buying, create fake buzz, then dump on everyone else who bought in late, leaves them holding worthless bags.
Nasty. What else?
Just blatant shilling. People pay to promote coins, regardless of whether they're actually scams or just junk. And sadly, straightforward subscription scams, too.
You pay to join a group and get nothing.
Or worse, you get actively bad calls promoting scams. It definitely happens.
Okay, so it's a bit of a minefield.
Yeah.
For anyone listening who's tempted, what's the absolute #1 piece of advice?
Oh, easily. DYOR. Do your own research. The article hammers this home.
Cannot stress that enough.
You just can't blindly trust what you see in a Telegram group. Doesn't matter how legit it looks or who's in it. You have to verify things yourself.
So what specific things should people be checking? Even if a coin is hyped in a big group.
The article gives some good pointers. First, check the liquidity lock.
Meaning the project funds can't just be pulled out?
Exactly. Are the initial funds locked for a decent period? It stops the devs just running off with the money a rug pull.
Okay, what else?
Look at insider token allocations. How much does the team hold? How much did early investors get if it's heavily concentrated?
That's a red flag.
Big time. And related to that, analyze the overall wallet distribution. Do a few wallets hold like 50% of the supply?
Because they could dump the price easily.
Right. It makes it super vulnerable to manipulation.
Yeah.
The article mentions tools like bubble maps on Aave.ai that can actually visualize this for you.
Useful. So even with potential alpha, the homework is still on you. Always.
Absolutely. No shortcuts on due diligence.
Now, Av.ai, the source of the article, they're actually launching their own group, aren't they? A premium alpha alert group.
They are, yes. It seems like their answer to this whole situation. Trying to provide something more reliable and data-focused.
So less opinion, more data.
That seems to be the angle. They're positioning it as a curated channel, directly feeding alerts from their main PC alpha signal center into Telegram.
All right, and what kind of alerts are we talking about? What features?
The main thing is real-time Telegram notifications for, significant events, meme coin price spikes, moves by those smart money wallets we talked about, and identifying trending cult tokens ones with really strong community backing.
And the key difference is where the alerts come from.
Exactly. They stress it's not based on someone's gut feeling or opinion. It's driven by data from their signal engine.
Which looks at
Things like tracking successful trader wallets, spotting buys by KOLs, using AI to flag weird stuff in smart contracts.
like potential security risks.
Yeah, or unusual code patterns. And also looking for anomalies in liquidity pools. Plus, they mentioned it syncs across devices, desktop, and Telegram.
So they're really trying to stand apart from the typical influencer-driven group.
That's definitely the message. They're contrasting their data-driven approach with, manual calls or influencer opinions you find elsewhere.
Trying to cut through the noise, basically.
Yeah. Deliver verified alerts based on actual market data, help people act faster, and maybe with a bit more confidence.
Interesting move. Okay, looking further out, the article also speculates a bit about the future of these alpha groups. What trends might we see?
Well, one idea is more AI. Bots that could automatically sift through all the chatter and on-chain data to find potential alpha calls.
AI filters, essentially.
Kind of, yeah. Also, maybe reputation systems for groups, scoring them based on how accurate their calls have been historically.
That would be useful. Accountability.
Could be. And another trend mentioned is tokenized access, using NSTs or maybe POAPs to get into premium groups.
So owning a specific token or NFT gets you in the door.
Right. Creates more exclusivity, maybe even some form of community governance down the line.
It paints a picture of human insight plus community checks plus AI analysis all working together.
Yeah, that seems to be the direction. A blend of human skill and increasingly sophisticated tech, even in this crazy meme coin space.
Okay, fascinating stuff. Let's try and wrap this deep dive up. Key takeaways for listeners on Telegram alpha groups.
I'd say two main things. One, these groups are a big deal in meme coins. They can offer genuine early insights and community intelligence. That's the potential upside. But two, the risks are huge. Pump and dumps, scams, bad info. It's everywhere. So the absolute non-negotiable rule is do your own research. DYR. Always.
Doesn't matter who says what, you check it yourself.
Couldn't say it better. The responsibility is always yours.
Right. So the allure of finding alpha is strong, but it doesn't replace critical thinking. Okay, a final thought then for you, our listener, to chew on. As these tools and groups get more sophisticated, with AI filtering and data feeds, how does that change the game? Does the balance shift away from your own judgment towards relying more on these automated signals or group consensus? And what does that mean for you, the everyday trader, trying to find that edge in the whirlwind of meme coins? Something to think about.
Definitely something to consider.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.